This is Tekoa's latest thermal generator for charging up a Hotwire for cutting through foam. Got it on my sanding block here. Nice. All right, let's fire it up. Here we go. It's got 4 knobs on it. It was kind of confusing to me. You've got, this says current, course, and voltage course. Means they're going to move up big time when you turn these knobs. And then you have these over here, which are fine adjustments for both the current and the voltage. So in the instructions, it says to turn up this bottom one, this current, full blast first. And then we'll turn this one up and watch as the wire starts to cut through. Now I did this once and I had it up to about 18 volts here. And what happens is the wire, I need it to be a little hotter because the block that it cut through, you can see it's stuck. As the bow came off the foam, it stuck to it, and I got a line going across, which isn't so bad because this is a thick piece and I can still get my wings out of it. But I want as the foam wire, here it is, here. As the foam wire cuts through it, I need it to pop off the foam block so it doesn't stick to it and put a line in it. This is my foam block. See if I can get it in there. It's a blue foam 4x8. I got a center line down the middle that I can line up with my bow here. It's a 4-foot. This is a 4-foot bow, and I've got the leads here separated by about 38 inches, and I've got it lined. I got this wire right here lined up where I want it to cut. And when I do the cut, I'm going to have to set this thing down. Where'd I put that foam? There it is. And hopefully you'll be able to see it when I because I've got to let go of this, catch the bow. So here we go. I'm going to turn up this course. I haven't adjusted the fine levels here yet. I'm just going to get this baby going full blast. I think it'll be around 25 volts. So here we go. Yeah, 25.5. It's moving fairly quickly through the foam, as you can see. So here we go. Hope you can see it. And that's better. The block popped right off my my bow here. It's starting to smoke. The wire needs to be cleaned. Just a moment. I'll have to do that in a second. So there you go. That worked pretty well for me, having it set to the full blast on the bottom, and then I cranked up this top one to full blast. I'm going through a 3-inch piece of blue Dow, probably 25 psi foam, and you can see the cut on the one up here. Looks good. It's nice. I get a pretty straight vertical cut, and here's my block cut and the sides. I don't know how well you can see with the lighting here, but I think it's pretty good. So I like the generator. It seems to be a pretty steady current, and you can fine tune it over here when you get, trying different settings here for heat, for different wire lengths and so forth. And you can fine tune it with these guys. Whoops, these guys over here. So pretty cool. I'm going to try this on some Cabela's .016 fishing leader for cutting some foam and see how that goes later. For right now, I'm using a sizzle wire and a 4-foot bow on the blue foam. Another thing I'm looking at here is the little paper towel I use to run up and down the wire of the hot wire to clean it off, and it's not burnt. In fact, in that pass, it doesn't look burnt at all, and here I'm just getting a very little light burn. And I think that was at the 25.5 that I was cutting this block with, and I like this. The other ones I really burn up this paper as I run it through. The wire gets very hot, so already I've got a nice control here on not getting too crazy with the wire, and I'm looking at my little paper towel that I wipe the wire down with to see what kind of burn mark I'm getting, and that looks good to me. I think that's pretty good. We're going to try and achieve that when I start to cut the wings. This is Tekoa's earlier thermal generator, and I like it very much. It has the setting for the sizzle wire on this side for either a 28-inch bow or a 40-inch bow, or oops, that's off, or the 52-inch bow. And over here would be for the T370 wire, the earlier wire, and I believe these settings and this type of wire is more for cutting white foam, and the sizzle wire is very good for cutting the blue foam. I didn't have a lot of luck using this wire on the blue foam, and the sizzle wire really was the way to go. And so I like this one very much, but I don't know exactly what the temperature is. I'm kind of guessing, and I thought with the newer version of their thermal generator, you can really see the numbers and know exactly what kind of current you're applying to get just that right heat. And I'm going to be doing a little different wire cutting setup rather than using these size bows. So that's why I wanted to really be able to figure out, what kind of current I'm running and what kind of heat I'm hitting that would be optimum when I'm using something other than a bow, which is like a handheld wire on a pivot, and I'm just pulling the wire through, and there's no bow. Okay. Another plus about this unit is I can grab it with one hand and pick it up. It's very light. I can't do that with the earlier version that I had on here. It's quite a bit heavier, but this one, very easy. And the digital readout for figuring out where you're at is just great, so I like it very much. When you're cutting through foam, I don't know the exact temperature of the wire. I can see the current setting there, so I do have something to go by, but I'm looking for a cut that is getting, I don't know if you can see it, there's small hairs that go across the core, and that kind of means you're kind of at a good temperature. Maybe you can see some of the hairs there. These need to be cleaned off once you go to, you've got to wipe them with a little sandpaper, or like a 320 grit, or you get a piece of blue foam and you rub it on there and it takes these hairs off. But as you have these little hair streamers coming across from the wire, you're at a good temperature. And maybe you can see it on the bed here. You can see some of the little hairs going across. And that's what I'm looking for. And then I'll take note of the, here we go, there you go. I'll take note of the current setting I'm at, and then I'll have a much better accurate cut each time I go to do a wing. And that's what I'm looking for with this new generator, and it's looking pretty good. Currently I'm cutting these wings for this style of slope glider. You can see it on this yellow and this blue plane. If I back up a little bit here, that's the kind of wing that I'm cutting it for. It's an RG14. Hello, ladies. You're looking good. You're looking good. This is a new silhouette fuse that I made for Stieg. Woo! And that's what these wings, these foam blocks I'm cutting are gonna. This will be the wing. This will be the Silhouette X, Silhouette 2X, and that's what I'm cutting them for. I want to make wings for this type of slope glider. That's a lot of fun to fly. Hot dang, let's do another one. Alright, I'm turning all my knobs off, going like the instruction says. The unit is off. I turn the bottom coarse knob, the current coarse knob, up full. Coarse is in rough, not like golf course. Anyway, turn it on. My amps, it is 0.01 right at the moment. And now I crank up the voltage to about 25 and a half, and it moves fast through the foam. It looks like I'm at 1.93 amps as I bring that current up, and we're cutting through. It needs to pop off like that. Now, there's a lot to be said about just turning the heat up or the current up until it just starts cutting. You'll have a slower cut, and I like that. But in this case, as I'm trying to pop off a block here, not have it stick to the wire, I probably need to go a little hotter than I would if maybe I was using the feather cut and having it cut the core sideways, going through the foam sideways in a nice slow manner with not too much current going. That might be the way to go there. But for this application where I'm blocking out wing blocks, I have to have it come straight down and through, I need it to probably run a little hotter than I normally would when I'm cutting a wing. But this looks very good. I'm happy with that, and I think the unit is excellent, and that I'll really be able to control the temperature and know where I'm at and what I need when I'm cutting wings, and that's going to be great. Okay,